Okay, imagine this. You never step inside a formal classroom until you're 17. 17. Yet somehow you go on to get a PhD from Cambridge University.
It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? But that incredible journey is exactly what Tara Westover details in her memoir, Educated. And that's what we're exploring today.
Right, and we're trying something a bit different here. This is a new, in-depth approach to covering the book. Think of it as an extended summary.
Yeah, our previous review was more focused, more analytical. This time we're really aiming for a comprehensive overview. We want to trace the whole story, the key ideas, the impact.
Exactly. So if you find this longer format helpful, please do let us know. Your feedback really helps us figure out what works best for future content.
And just a quick note, you're currently listening to a unique two-host AI conversation. We're powered by Google's NotebookLM, aiming to bring you these deeper, more dynamic book summaries.
So Educated, a memoir, published back in 2018. It's this incredibly powerful personal story, a real Bildungsroman about transformation.
And it was huge. I mean, debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, stayed there for over 2 years.
Wow.
Translated into 45 languages, sold, more than 8 million copies globally. It clearly struck a chord.
It absolutely did. And the core of it, the thing that grabs you, is this fundamental struggle. Wanting education, wanting autonomy.
But feeling this intense loyalty to your family, even when that family is incredibly isolated and, frankly, dysfunctional.
It's that conflict that drives the whole narrative.
And to really get the scale of what Tara achieved,
Yeah.
you have to understand where she started. You have to understand Buck's Peak.
Okay, let's paint that picture. Bucks Peak, rural Idaho. This isn't just living off the grid. This is extreme.
Extremely self-sufficient, yes. Rooted in some very particular fundamentalist Mormon beliefs, quite different from the mainstream church. And layered on top of that, this deep, deep suspicion of the government.
Total rejection of public schools, hospitals, doctors, pretty much any institution.
And the person really enforcing all of this, the dominant figure, was the father, Gene Westover. He's portrayed as charismatic, certainly, but also deeply paranoid.
Runs the family scrapyard, always stockpiling supplies, convinced the end of days is just around the corner.
Right, and his beliefs shaped everything. Very rigid, very anti-modern in many ways. And it put the family in constant danger, especially working in that scrapyard.
And then there's the mother, Faye. She's the midwife, the herbal healer. She did provide some homeschooling, but Tara describes it as, well, pretty minimal and inconsistent.
Yeah, initially maybe a bit overshadowed by Gene, but then her herbal business starts doing really well.
That's a key point. It brought in money, improved things financially, but it also seemed to boost her own confidence, solidify her role as this alternative healer.
Which, of course, just reinforces the family's rejection of conventional medicine. They have their own successful system in their eyes.
And Tara's childhood. It wasn't playing games, it was hard labor in that dangerous scrapyard, helping her mother mix herbs.
Yeah, the book doesn't shy away from the risks. There's that really intense story about her brother Luke, his leg catching fire in an accident. Severe burns.
And how did they treat it?
Only with Faye's herbal remedies. No doctors, no hospital.
And he recovered.
He did, eventually. And for the family, that survival just cemented their beliefs. It proved to them that their way was right, that they didn't need the outside world's medicine, despite the clear dangers.
So that's the world she grew up in. Isolated, dangerous, intellectually, stagnant. It feels completely sealed off.
But walls like that, they eventually develop cracks. And the first real fissure came from inside the family.
You mean Tyler, the third brother?
Exactly. Tyler was different. Quieter, more interested in books, music, things beyond the mountain.
Not really cut out for this scrapyard life.
Not at all. And he makes this huge decision to break ranks, to actually leave and go to college.
That must have been a shockwave through the family.
Absolutely. Devastating for Tara at first. She describes feeling like he was abandoning them. But his leaving, it planted a seed. It showed her that escape, that formal education, was actually possible.
But then things get darker, don't they, with the return of another brother, Shawn?
Yes. Shawn's return marks a really disturbing shift in the narrative. His behavior becomes increasingly erratic, unpredictable, and violent.
Towards Tara specifically.
Yes. The book details incidents of pretty severe physical and emotional abuse he inflicted on her. It created this constant atmosphere of fear.
And the parents, Gene and Faye.
This is one of the most heartbreaking parts. They consistently failed to protect her. They dismiss her accounts, deny what was happening, or minimize it. Gaslighting, essentially.
Why? To maintain the family image. To avoid confronting the ugliness.
It seems tied into Gene's worldview. Admitting that kind of internal problem, that Shawn was capable of such things, would shatter the idea of their self-contained, righteous world. They couldn't acknowledge her reality without their own reality crumbling. That denial becomes a central, driving conflict for Tara.
But even amidst all that, the outside world starts to creep in a little.
It does. And in an unexpected way, through local theater, Tara discovers she has this amazing singing voice.
Right. That gets her involved in productions, meeting kids from town, people outside the family's orbit, like Charles, who she mentions.
And that exposure, however limited, starts to broaden her horizons. It fuels this growing curiosity about the world beyond Buck's Peak. She starts seeing that maybe her family's view isn't the only one.
And Tyler, who had already left, he keeps encouraging her.
Yes, crucially. He helps her study for the ACT. That exam becomes the key, the practical step that turns the vague idea of college into something real, something she could actually do.
Which brings us to the next major phase, the intellectual journey itself, stepping off the mountain and into, well, a completely different universe.
Brigham Young University, BYU. She gets in, age 17, with almost zero formal schooling behind her.
The culture shock must have been immense.
Oh, completely overwhelming. The book paints such a vivid picture of it. She's struggling with just basic knowledge gaps that other students take for granted. History, literature, even understanding classroom dynamics or social norms.
She mentions not knowing about the Holocaust.
Exactly. Things like that. She wasn't just learning subjects. She was learning how the rest of the world operated, its shared history, its assumptions. It was a total identity crisis.
But somehow she thrives. Academically, at least.
Amazingly, yes.
Yeah.
That initial struggle seems to ignite this incredible intellectual hunger. She works relentlessly, catches up, and more than catches up, she graduates magna cum laude.
Which, given where she started, is just remarkable.
Truly staggering, and it doesn't stop there. Her world just keeps expanding. She gets into Harvard as a visiting researcher.
And then wins the Gates Cambridge Fellowship,
Yeah.
a hugely prestigious scholarship to study in England.
Right. Off she goes to Cambridge University, eventually earning a master's degree, and then her PhD in history. It's this incredible academic ascent.
But moving that far away, geographically and intellectually, didn't sever the ties completely, did it? The tension with her family continued.
No, she tried to maintain contact, but it led to these really painful clashes. She describes her parents visiting her at Cambridge, trying to pull her back into their belief system, trying to reconvert her, essentially.
So she's living in these two completely opposing worlds simultaneously. The world of rigorous academic thought at Cambridge.
And the insular, faith-driven, anti-P empirical world of Buck's Peak. The contrast couldn't be starker.
It's a fascinating exploration of how we reconcile or fail to reconcile deeply ingrained family beliefs with new knowledge and experiences.
Absolutely. And just pausing here for a moment, if you're finding this detailed summary engaging, you might want to check out Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel where we offer more AI-powered book analyses, summaries, and critiques. It's all about inspiring reflection and rational thought.
Good point. Okay, so picking back up on that family tension, it really comes to a head, doesn't it? Leading to what the book portrays as the painful cost of her transformation.
It does. There's a critical turning point when Tara finally confides in Audrey, her only sister, about Shawn's abuse over the years.
And Audrey confirms it. She experienced it too.
Yes. Audrey reveals she was also victimized. So for a moment, there's this potential alliance. They plan to confront their parents together, hoping for support, maybe intervention.
But it doesn't go that way.
Not at all. The family's mechanism of denial kicks in hard. Jean especially refuses to believe it or refuses to acknowledge it. Instead, Tara gets painted as the problem.
The one causing trouble, influenced by her education by the outside world.
Exactly. Corrupted. When Shawn finds out Tara spoke up, the family essentially closes ranks around him, against her.
That must have been devastating, realizing her own family wouldn't protect her, wouldn't even believe her.
Is portrayed as a profound betrayal. This realization triggers a spiral into severe depression, makes it hard for her to focus on her studies. She's completely isolated from them.
But not entirely alone. Tyler steps up again here, right?
Yes. Tyler's support becomes absolutely crucial. He's the one sibling who fully believes her, who validates her experience. He sends her this incredibly clear email basically saying, "I believe you." And that breaks through her isolation.
Gives her the strength to keep going.
It seems so. It helps her find the resolve to finish her PhD. And the memoir notes that Tyler himself, having seen the family dynamics play out, also eventually makes the painful choice to distance himself from their parents. Education and truth over that specific family loyalty.
Which brings us towards the end of her story in the book. There is a final family gathering mentioned.
Yes, for her grandmother's funeral. But it's not a moment of reconciliation. If anything, it solidifies the division. It makes the permanence of the estrangement clear.
So the book concludes with her accepting that separation.
Pretty much. Accepting the estrangement, but also finding pride and a sense of belonging in the life she built for herself, the community she found in academia. She paid a heavy price for her education, the price being her connection to her birth family.
It's such a powerful story. The themes just resonate so deeply. Education as this force of sometimes violent transformation.
That agonizing pull between loyalty to your roots and the need for self-preservation for personal growth.
And just the sheer cost of inventing yourself when your past is something you have to actively break free from, especially in the face of trauma and denial.
Absolutely. And the literary world certainly saw that power. It wasn't just a bestseller. It won awards like the Alex Award, got shortlisted for major prizes like the LA Times Book Prize and the P. and Gene Stein Award.
Named one of the New York Times 10 best books of 2018, too. High praise.
Deservedly so, I think. It forces you to think. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening right now. After hearing about Tara's journey, this radical self-creation, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What fundamental ties, maybe intellectual ones, maybe relationships, maybe old beliefs, might you need to question or even step away from to fully realize your own potential, your own autonomy?
That's a heavy question, but a really important one raised by the book. Okay, if you want to explore our analysis further, click the link on screen for the in-depth book critique. And please subscribe, share, maybe purchase the book via the link, and keep thinking rationally.
And don't forget, you can find many other genre-based book podcasts over at Mindful Moments. Subscribe there too, and nourish your mind on the go.